Hey guys, welcome back to Tim's Garage. Alright, today I'm going to put new wood grain vinyl on this dash trim piece in a 67 elcomino, I believe it is. This piece here goes on the top portion of the dash frame in the car. You can see it's got the holes for the AC vents, ignition switch, cigarette lighter, wipers, headlights. This is all metal piece. These pieces are glued on. You can leave the piece on there and recover it. In this case, these were halfway coming off, so I went ahead and used a heat gun, heated up the surface, warmed it up, and then it pretty much peeled off. You just need to be careful not to bend this. If you crease it, it's always going to have a crease. You won't get it flat again. The two pieces off. You can see the old wood grain. That's typically what happens. It starts falling apart. It's discolored. Basically, I took a scraper and a heat gun and removed the bulk of the wood grain. With the piece being off, it's a lot easier to get the wood grain off. That stuff can be hard to get off. You can use strippers, adhesive removal. The key is, though, you want the surface that you're going to reapply the wood grain to be as smooth as possible. You want good adhesion, and you want to make sure that the surface is flat, because once you apply the vinyl, you will see anything that lays underneath there, whether it's old vinyl or a deep scratch or dent or something. The tools I've used, orbital sander works okay if there's no adhesive on it. This is basically it's a pneumatic wire brush. Dry, there's not much adhesive left on it. You can see on this piece I used that wire brush on it. Cleaned it up real well. I'm going to do the same with this piece. Get it cleaned and prepped. And this is the wood grain we're putting back on it. You can see the texture in it. It's very similar to what was originally on it. 3M makes a product. So I'm going to clean these pieces up. Then I'll trim out some of the wood grain vinyl, and then I'll show you the install of the vinyl. Okay, you can see I have both metal pieces all cleaned up. I sanded them down, made sure they're smooth, clean. Then I took some rubbing alcohol, some sort of cleaner, and wiped the surfaces off, make sure there's no oil, grease, or anything like that on there. And I also cut 2 strips of that vinyl wood grain. You can see that the vinyl is oversized. It's just easier to cut it a little bit larger. That way, when you lay it on there, if you don't get it dead, perfectly straight, you don't have to really worry about it. You do want to make sure the wood grain is going in the right direction. Depending on what time of year it is, this vinyl works a lot better if it's warmed up. A lot of times I'll set it out in the sun for a few minutes. Makes it a little bit more pliable, and it seems to stick a little better. So I'm going to go ahead, put this vinyl out in the sun, get it warmed up, and then we'll come back and we'll put the vinyl on these metal pieces and show you how to trim it out, and how to use a heat gun and get the vinyl down in these recessed areas. Okay, so this is the vinyl. It's been sitting out in the sun. You can see it lays nice and flat. You can use a squeegee or one of these plastic spreaders. Just make sure it's got a nice smooth edge so you don't scratch or damage the vinyl. It's not real difficult. Also on these recessed areas, we'll apply heat and probably use a socket to help push it down. Heat gun, that vinyl can get pretty hot, so sometimes it can burn your fingertips if you're not careful. So we'll go ahead and we'll just apply this first one. So you can see how easy that went on there. Go ahead and use your fingers. Make sure all the air bubbles are out. And just push down if you need to. You can apply a little heat to it. Like I said, that vinyl sticks a lot better when it's warmed up. Just want to trim the edges on it. A lot of times I'll just make sure this is pushed down good on the edges. You want to make sure you have like a new razor blade, something good and sharp, so you get a nice clean edge. So that's the first piece. Alright, for the last piece that we're doing for this dash, this is the one that's a little more trickier. We're going to do the same process. Apply it on there flat like we just did. And we'll do the recess portion after we apply the vinyl. You don't need to worry about trying to stretch it in there off the get-go. Just put it on there same way. Now this piece is applied, we'll go ahead and do the recess spots. And then when you push it down with your fingers, you can you'll see the indentation of where the recesses are. Doing that kind of helps, so when you apply the heat, you can see where you need to apply it. It doesn't take much heat to do. You don't want to do too much. Some of this vinyl will discolor if you get it too hot, or it'll stretch a little weird. So just enough heat to get it to go down. You'll see it shrink up a little bit. Just want to get in there with your fingernail, tip of your finger, whatever. Nothing sharp. It's going to hurt the vinyl. So this socket fits in there just right. So you just want to make sure it adheres very good. So you don't want it to curl up. So you can see the recess, how it's applied. There's another one right there. Same process on all of them. And you can reapply the heat as necessary. You don't have to worry about going too fast. Okay, so you can see I got the recesses all done. Just need to trim it out with that razor blade. Trim the outside just like we did before. So the outside's all trimmed up. Flip it over, you can see where you need to trim for the holes. You can see the hole is trimmed out. Do the rest of them and there you go. Here are the finished pieces after we put the new 3M wood grain on it. Everything's trimmed out. You can see how the vinyl, with just a little bit of heat, and you can get that to stretch down there. Now we'll take this back and re-glue these pieces onto the trim, and we'll have it. Alright guys, that's it for the vinyl install. If you have any questions, just contact me here on YouTube. Be more than happy to help you out.